Good evening to every single one of you. This is President Oponjo of Laughter Republic. Good evening. I was supposed to be here this morning at 9 o'clock, but I couldn't make it. But better late than never. I want at least 1,000 people watching this. I have an announcement to make to the whole world. But I will not make this announcement until I have 1,000 people on here. My name is President Oponjo of Laughter Republic. Welcome to my life on the 30th of August, 2025. The summer has gone very, very quickly, but I am here to address some of my concerns, and in particular, what is happening in Britain right now. This is for the British people. I am here to talk about Britain and I don't even know where to begin, but I want as many British people as possible. I want them to join me because I have no idea what is going on in Britain right now. What is actually going on in Great Britain, I have no idea. But what I do know is that I want to see as many British people as possible because I am very, very upset with the way my people are being treated in Great Britain right now. It is not acceptable that immigrants, migrants are being blamed for the state of Britain. They are a minority. Migrants are a minority. And I do not understand what the British government is doing right now. But my people need to be protected. But I will continue this conversation when I have at least 1,000 people on here. I want the British people to join me and tell me, is Britain that bad? Or is it just sheer incompetence in terms of leadership? Your current Labour Party government has only been in power for 1 year. The Tories were in power for 14 good years. 14 good years. And as I understand it, it takes more than a year for you to reverse the policies that have impacted the people in Britain for the last 14 years. So I don't know what is actually going on. Keir Starmer, he definitely won the last election. And he's supposed to be in power till 2029. But I am very, very surprised that Nigel Farage has been able to find a way, to find a voice. Nigel Farage is only, I think it's called Garage, Nigel Garage, has only got 4 MPs. What is happening to Britain right now? Nigel Farage is not the opposition leader. He only has 4 MPs. What is going on in Britain right now? Why do we have a situation where someone with only 4 MPs has more of a voice and is setting the agenda and the narrative? Kemi Badenoch, the Tory party, are nowhere to be found. And they have more MPs than the Reform Party. What's his name? The Lib Dem, Lib Dem leader, nowhere to be found. It's as if all these low political parties are frightened, absolutely frightened of Nigel Farage. And I want to understand what is actually going on in Britain. I want people to come and talk to me and let me know. Why do we have a situation where someone with only 4 MPs is creating the narrative and creating division across the United Kingdom? The United Kingdom is a scary place right now for immigrants and migrants, and we must put a stop to it. I have now recalled all my people to leave Britain immediately. Leave Britain and come back home. It is that simple. And I have spoken to quite a number of British people, and I have told them, stop talking down your country. It is not migrants that is the issue. It is a lack of leadership in your government. Let me repeat that. It is not migrants that is an issue. It is the lack of leadership in your country. It is that simple. What you have in Britain are career politicians. I cannot believe that a political party with only 4 MPs is creating the narrative in the United Kingdom and causing division in the United Kingdom. I genuinely cannot believe it. I saw people vandalizing roundabouts, painting it with English flags. I don't have a problem. It's not my country, so you can do whatever you like in terms of erecting your flags. But don't create vandalism in your respective neighborhoods. I cannot believe it. I genuinely cannot believe what I am seeing. What happened to Great Britain? Why is Great Britain is such a mess? Or maybe it is not a mess and it's just social media that is creating all this havoc. If I was Keir Starmer and I was running Britain, I will ban social media. I will ban X. I will ban Threads. I will ban Instagram. I will ban all these social media platforms because they are creating havoc in this lovely country called United Kingdom. I have recalled all my people. I want my people to come back home now. And I have confiscated all British businesses in my country. And all British people should leave my country within 24 hours. 24 hours, they should leave my country immediately until there is a better way of treating migrants. You cannot blame migrants for the state of the Britain. You cannot blame migrants for the state of Britain. I feel very, very strongly about this. This is totally, yes, ban social media in the United Kingdom. Starmer should militarize the United Kingdom right now. He should do what he needs to do and stop being weak. Militarize the United Kingdom immediately. Put Nigel Farage under house arrest because he's causing division across the country. And I fear that there will be riots on the streets. I know a number of immigrants who are very unhappy with the state of Britain. I know a number of immigrants who are frightened and scared to leave their house. We must find a way. And if Africa needs to write to the king, the African Union will write to the king. Why is the king not saying anything about what is going on in the United Kingdom? Why is Prince William not saying anything about what is going on in the United Kingdom? Why are they blaming immigrants? Immigrants for everything. I am very, very angry. Very, very angry. That is all I have to say this evening. I want to hear from British people because I know British people are educated. Not every single one of them are illiterate. I know there are educated British people who are shocked by what is actually going on in Britain right now. This is diabolical. How can you allow the far right to take over Britain and to take over the narrative? Shut down social media, Starmer. Shut down X. Shut down Instagram. Close the whole social media. They will not have access to say anything about immigrants because Britain is going through a very, very difficult time at the moment. Starmer must act like a real prime minister and get a grip. If you need to involve the military, let us know. Let the military be involved. Militarize the United Kingdom right now because that is what the United Kingdom needs right now. Militarize the United Kingdom. My people, like I said, my people should not suffer, should not be blamed for the state of the United Kingdom. Brexit means Brexit. That is what created the problem in the first place. Brexit means Brexit. People did not know what they were voting for. And the country is broke. The country lacks direction, lacks leadership. And you have someone like Nigel Farage setting the narrative. This is absolutely diabolical. He should be put under house arrest immediately. Immediately, he should be put under house arrest. I need to calm down. I really need to calm down. Britain is a beautiful country, a wonderful country, but they are creating havoc and causing division. We know what they want to do with Britain, and you should not allow it. Like I said, I will not repeat myself. I am asking all my people to leave Britain immediately. Leave the United Kingdom immediately. And all British citizens have been asked to leave my country there immediately. Businesses have been confiscated in my country immediately belonging to British people. We will not accept the degrading, the degrading of refugees in the United Kingdom. It is not acceptable. And the government should know better and should find a way of shutting down social media. Social media is poisoning politics in the United Kingdom. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has the right to say anything about the Prime Minister, to say anything about the current government. This government, the British government, has only been in power for 1 year. 1 year. And you haven't given them time. It is unbelievable. It will never, ever happen in my country. It will never. Nigel Farage should be, as I am telling you, should be under house arrest right now. It is that simple. If there's anyone who wants to come and talk to me, British people, come and talk to me. Why is the nation so disillusioned? Why are you so unhappy? Why are you blaming migrants for every single thing that is wrong in Britain? Migrants are not the one who set the educational system. Migrants are not the ones who are setting the regeneration system. Migrants are not the ones who have set the migration system. It is diabolical, absolutely diabolical. What we are experiencing, what we are witnessing is diabolical. Far-right politics should not be allowed. And migrants are being used as scapegoats, absolute scapegoats. And I'm worried about my people. And that's why I've asked my people to leave Britain immediately. Pack your bags and come back home. And let's see who will sort out the NHS. Let's see who will do the jobs that the British don't want to do. This is diabolical, absolutely dog bollocks, as the British call it. What Britain is a strong leader, a decisive leader. I am very, very disappointed by what I am hearing and what I am listening to. I am not interested in football. I am not interested in Arsenal. I'm not interested in Manchester United. I'm not interested in Liverpool Football Club. I am more interested in what is happening. They keep saying that they want their country back. They want that. Who took their country? Who has taken Britain? What do they mean by they want their country back? Who has taken Britain? Tell me who has taken Britain. Where did they get that fallacy that someone has taken their country back? Who is in number 10? It is an Englishman in number 10. Who is in cabinet? They're British people, not migrants. Why do you have to denigrate migrants? Why do you have to degrade refugees? Why are you behaving like I don't even know. Words fail me. You can do better than this, Britain. You can do better than this. You shouldn't be blaming your migrants. You shouldn't be blaming refugees for the state of your nation. You created the problem. You voted Brexit. Brexit means Brexit. You wanted to be out of the EU, and now you are out of the EU, and you are blaming migrants for the state of the nation. Anybody who wants to come and debate me should come and debate me. I have said what I have to say.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you not remember me, Mr. Obonjo?
Of course, I do remember you. I remember you. It's been a long time. I'm just very disappointed with what is happening in Britain right now. I wish I was. How are you, young man? How are you? It's been a long time.
I know. I'm fine. I'm fine. I know. I've been seeing what's going on. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
It's absolutely terrible. I see pictures. Tell me, Francesco.
Yeah.
Tell me, is it that bad in Britain right now that there are people who can buy flags and they're vandalizing the roundabouts?
You know what? I do not agree with that. To be honest, I don't think you should be, going onto other people's property and stuff like that. I don't agree.
And so, what is the solution? Is the Labour Party so bad?
I think we just need you as leader, to be honest, because I'm sick of all these lying politicians. You know what I mean? It's just doing my head in.
So you reckon that a strong, stable leader like me is the person responsible that can deliver?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Since I last spoke to you, I think a lot of your politics and a lot of your rules, I think, would be great for the UK. I don't know how you would do that, though. But honestly, I'd love to see you as president. You know what I mean? Prime Minister, whatever you want to call it.
You think Britain is ready for my style of leadership?
I don't know if everyone will be ready for it. I think, it'll take some, doing, you know what I mean? I think people it'll take them a while, but I think, if it's a dictatorship, then I think they'll just have to go with it, won't they? You know what I mean?
Are you telling me that Britain is ready for dictatorship?
I think if it's under you, then yeah, I don't know. I just don't. It depends what style. You know what I mean? We technically already live under a dictatorship, so if you do it in a way that people don't realize they're under one, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll do it.
Now, let me get this absolutely right. Are you telling me that you believe that Britain is under dictatorship at the moment?
You know what? In some ways, yes. In some ways.
Okay, can you tell me why? Because as far as I'm concerned, Starmer is not a dictator. Britain is not under dictatorship.
Well, I think I'm more meaning about like who we get to vote for. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you vote for the two same people every time, the Conservatives or Labour, isn't it? So it's like they're both the same people, pretty much, aren't they? The same political parties nowadays. So you
What
don't really
about?
have a choice.
I heard there was another party that's been created by Jeremy Corbyn called Your Party.
What do you think of it?
I have not heard anything about them. I just know they were launched. They launched a party. I heard that the party was launched and that was it. I haven't heard nothing.
What do you think of Jeremy Corbyn, though? Do you have any opinions on him?
I think he's a decent man, but Britain will not allow him. I remember when he was running to become. You might correct me. When he was running to become prime minister, and there was a rumor that if he was elected, that
Yeah.
that the military there will be a military coup.
Really?
Yes.
I never heard about this.
There was an article. There was an article that basically said that if he becomes prime minister, there will be a military coup.
What, he will do it, or
No,
against us?
there was an article written about it that they didn't want Corbyn to become prime minister because if he became prime minister, there's likely to be a coup.
What do you think of Nigel with reform? What do you think of that side?
So this is what let me tell you. This is going to shock you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you what is going to shock you about this. Is the fact that Nigel Farage has been very, very good in terms of tuning into what is disaffecting people in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
The fact that he has only 4 MPs and he is acting like the opposition leader is unbelievable.
Yeah. To be honest.
I don't particularly agree with what he's saying, but Nigel Farage just reminds me of the orange man, Donald Trump. They are sharing notes. They are sharing notes because it's unbelievable. Who is sponsoring Nigel Farage? He only has 4 MPs and he's acting like the opposition leader. He's setting the narrative. And all the other political parties are like frightened rabbits. You know, it's like frightened rabbits. Where is Kemi Badenoch?
This is the problem, though.
Lib Dem have 66 MPs.
Yeah.
66.
Yeah, but this is the problem, though, when you have so many choices, you know what I mean? The real party can't get elected, you know what I mean? It's like, which is why I think we should, you know, if you were ruling, there'd be only one party, would there not be?
Yeah, there will only be one party, and it will be only one party for life.
That's
and
what I mean. It makes things a lot simpler.
Yeah, because this is what I don't understand about Britain. Every time a new party comes in, they say they want to fix the NHS, they want to fix education, they want to... Nobody fixes anything. It doesn't matter if it's Labour or Lib Dems. And they make promises that they can't keep. So why don't you have a leader who's transparent, who would tell you as it is, this is what you're going to get, and this is it.
You need to see, this is what we need. We need you to make an official party, you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely want to see a President Obanjo one day. We talked about this many moons ago, you know, on our video we did. And I feel like it's time we need someone to step up, you know what I mean? Like,
I am not sure whether Britain is ready for my style of leadership. I'm not sure whether Britain will want me in 10 Downing Street.
Yeah, who would you sponsor, though? Who are you going to send your money to? Because obviously people around the world, you know, countries like to sponsor certain politicians. Who do you think's like the best one for now?
Right now, I don't see. They're all career politicians. I don't see any politician in Britain that inspires me. From David Lammy to Keir Starmer to Angela Rayner to Nigel Farage to there is none that offers me any. None of them will have my money. None of them.
Well, the thing is, what I'm thinking at the minute, right, is I remember when we last spoke, like, you said that I could get a citizenship in your country, I think, for like, was it $4,500?
That is correct. It's gone up now for the cost of the rate of inflation. It's now £8,000.
8,000?
Yes.
Can I get a discount or not? Because
you can't get a discount because your government is responsible for this because the pound sterling has devalued. So a couple of years ago it was £4,000, but it's now £8,000.
This is crazy. This is madness. Exactly.
But look, my friend, it's good to talk to you. I hope you are doing well. I hope your business is thriving.
One last thing. I think we should get on another video and talk about these topics. I'll send you a message over on Instagram.
Yes, we will talk because we need to, because I am not happy with the state of the nation. I have made a decision today, and I don't care who is unhappy with it. I have made a decision that all British citizens must leave my country immediately. I have made a decision that all British citizens not only should leave my country, we've confiscated their businesses, and they should leave within 24 hours notice. If Britain can protect my people, I cannot protect British people in my country. It's that simple.
That is very simple. You know what? What we'll do is I'll send you a message over on Instagram tonight, and we're gonna get this. We're gonna get an emergency meeting going, all right? Because we're gonna publish it to the nations. Everyone's gonna watch this video we're gonna make.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful for your contributions. Thank you so much.
No
I have a
problem.
number of people who want to talk to me now. So thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Hello, Nomia. Hello, is that Nomia?
Yes,
Where are you calling me from?
South Africa.
Oh, South Africa. I want to talk to British people. There is a lot going on in Britain. South Africa is sorted. You guys are doing very well. Britain is in trouble at the moment. Are you following what's happening in Britain?
No,
Oh, okay, Nomia. So I don't want to talk about South Africa, but how are you anyway?
I'm good to say.
You're good, good, good. How is Ramaphosa, President Cupcake? How is he?
Good.
Good.
Network.
I'm not sure what she.
Oh,
I'm not sure whether she wants to talk to me, but we shall see. Hello, Colonel Indy.
Yeah. Good evening,
Good evening. Where are you calling me from?
Cameroon.
Okay, I'm looking for. I'm not being funny. I'm looking. Today's topic is about Britain. There's something happening in Britain right now, and I want to talk to British people. Unless you have something to contribute about Britain, then there's no point talking to you. What would you like to talk about?
I would just like to talk about most Africa countries suffer because of the British people.
Okay. Yes, I understand that. But we have migrants at
Yeah.
the moment, and the way Britain is behaving, they're attacking migrants and criticizing migrants for everything that is wrong with Britain right now. Do you think that is correct?
It's not correct.
Okay.
They have to protect human first.
If you are in London, if you are in Scotland, if you're in Northern Ireland, I want to talk to you. Please tell me exactly what is happening in Britain right now. Why are migrants being mistreated? Why are they attacking migrants and criticizing migrants for the state of the nation? I want to know, if you're living in the United Kingdom, tell me, come and talk to me and tell me, what is it like talking to people? What is it like living in Britain right now? Joey,
Hi there.
how are you?
Very well, thank you. And you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling from London.
Okay, so what would you like to talk about? Am I right about what I'm saying?
To an extent, yes. So I think there's a bit of dissent amongst the people in view of the fact that they feel that migrants are more or less taking over the amount of boats coming in from the continent. So they feel somewhat threatened in terms of way of life because they feel that these people are coming in lots. They are coming in loads nearly every day, about 500 plus people able to get into the country, and somewhat they feel their way of life is being compromised.
Okay,
And
where are
I
you
suppose
from,
as
sir?
well,
Where are you from, sir?
the cost involved in looking after these people, putting them in hotels whilst they wait for their asylum decisions to be made. So
But
definitely,
where else would you put them if you don't put them in hotels?
well, I suppose they should have. I know that the military have disused camps,
Oh no,
but again,
no way,
is
no way.
is
That
it
would be
real?
that
Is
would
it
be that would my friend. I don't know who you are. That would be so humane to put
no, no, no,
migrants
no.
in
Listen to me.
camps.
Listen to me. Listen to me. What I'm saying is that they have block of flats. They have to just fix them up and then put them in there so that they can process their or somewhat find ways of processing their claims much quicker.
Mm. Well, am
Because
I
without
right?
that, it's costing the taxpayer loads of money, and that is why people are a bit angry because one, every resource is somewhat overstretched. So definitely, if you were in that situation, people would complain. Although there might not be basis for a war, we need to distinguish is the fact that people are coming in fleeing from wars, which in a way was created by the Brits and then the Europeans
Thank you.
themselves.
Thank you
But they
very
don't want to
much.
admit to that.
Thank you very
Um,
much. They
so
created the problem.
they're mixing up genuine asylum seekers with economic migrants, and the common man on the street can't distinguish between the two. So for them, as long as people are coming in boatloads, they feel that it's going to affect their way of life. People are coming in, women, children, men, and it's also somewhat whipped up dissent amongst politicians, because ultimately they are the ones people will point fingers at, that they've laxed the system, they've done this, they've done that, they are getting ahead of the queues, the pressure on the systems like the NHS, health, transport, accommodation, there isn't enough to go around. So they feel that these people come in, they will get to the top, because the common man on the street, we've got homeless people here who can't get into hotels. But then, they provide a priority to the asylum seeker, and rightly so, because these are people fleeing war, and we need to look after vulnerable people in society. But if you happen to be a native and you don't get this, then surely that would cause you to make noise, and that is what is exactly happening. There's so many twists to this, but we're looking at it narrowly from that point. And the politicians, because people are complaining and they don't have the answers, they always find a way. We're going to send them back in boatloads. We're going to send some to, what is it called? Other African countries, even in El Salvador, like the Orange Man is doing and stuff like that. So, yeah, clearly there are issues ongoing.
Where are you from, sir? You don't sound British.
No, I'm not British. No, I'm Ghanaian.
Oh, Ghanaian. Okay, cool. But do you feel safe in Britain right now?
To a large extent, yeah, of course. The laws are there, but if you happen to find yourself in the wrong place, and then surely people would. But even then, there are police policing the system, so you don't feel threatened by someone assaulting you or anything like that. You just, have to carry yourself about and live your life.
Look, I want to thank you for your contributions. You made some really excellent points, but I genuinely still believe that even if the migrant problem was sorted out today, if there was a solution and it was sorted out today, leaders in Britain are still incompetent. They still cannot fix Britain. I'm telling
Well, this
you.
is the thing,
The
whole thing is,
the whole political system is in a mess. If they were able to fix the migrant thing today, it still will not fix Britain, because this is just an excuse. A total excuse. They have no idea what they need to do to fix Britain. They have no idea. So this is just a distraction. As much as I understand that people are concerned that they're coming by boats and they're coming and there's shortage of resources, I am telling you right now that even if they were able to fix the migrant situation today, they will still not be able to fix the NHS. They will still not be able to fix education. They will still not be able to fix regeneration. They will still not be able to fix society. They are incompetent, absolutely incompetent. These are career politicians.
You are right. Nobody's got the answers, and go around in circles chasing after their tail all the time, because the issues presenting are unimaginable, and for them, it's just a case of, oh, we have to fix this, and it's a distraction. You're right. Because the key things that needs to be done is all brushed under the carpet and then hiding behind these issues, because that is what would draw public attention to. And it's almost knee-jerk reaction to see situations. So we go around in circles. I don't know when it's ever going to get resolved. They need to focus on the things that matter to the people. Immigration is only, at the bottom of this list. But for some people, because the right-wing media are actually whipping up these sentiments, people go for that, and that is the low-hanging fruits, of course. So
I want to ask you a question. Have I got this absolutely right, that Nigel Farage is not the opposition leader?
No, he's not.
So how is it possible that where I am sitting in Africa, I hear more about Nigel Farage than Kemi Badenoch? What is absolutely going on? Because Kemi Badenoch has more MPs. As far as I am aware, she is the opposition leader. So how come Nigel Farage is People are hearing more from Nigel Garage than from Kemi Badenoch.
This is a rhetorical question. What sells? Is it bad news or good news?
So you reckon bad news sells? That's why Nigel Garage is
That's right, yes, because people are it's become a topical issue and people are just talking about it and he's whipping it up. And he hasn't got the answers either. He keeps flip-flopping. There's no decision.
And it's almost like that is the only singular subject that Nigel Garage talks about. It doesn't talk about anything else apart from immigration. He has no idea how he's going to fix education. He has no idea how he's going to fix anything else. He's just a singular politician. Can you tell me? I don't understand this. When they say that I want my country back, what does that mean? Who took their country? Who took Britain? When they say I want my country back, who has taken their country? Because I don't understand it. Who stole Britain?
Well, Britain has never been stolen. Britain belongs to everyone who've got a right to be here. And
so why do they say that I want my country back? What are they talking about?
It's just a slogan, isn't it? Just to create the impression that we are being swamped by all these people. But you know what? The gains from immigration far outweighs the ills of it or the cost to it. Because who runs the NHS? Who runs all these vital industries?
Exactly.
But, it's easy to go for them because, they are who they are and we are who we are. As migrants, we make, immense contribution to the country than we get out of it. All people want is to gain respect, get a job, and be able to look after themselves and their families. And that is all there is. But some people here don't have that opportunity. Well, they cut off school at 16, for whatever reason. And then, they find themselves at the bottom of the pile. And therefore, it's difficult to climb up there. But people come from abroad with degrees. People come from abroad with big ideas and work hard to achieve what they get. There are others, of course. There'll be the bad nuts amongst us who would want to find a quick way or get into ills of society like scams and stuff like that. But that's only an insignificant amount of people, so they need to look at it in the bigger picture that there are more gains than there are of,
Yeah, Joey, look, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the time you have spent explaining because I have a better understanding of what is going on. I always knew that I was right, but it's always good to talk to British people who are based there because I just don't understand. I don't understand how Nigel Garage has become the official opposition leader, especially when he has only four MPs. I don't understand when they say, I want our country back. I don't understand what they mean by that, but you've explained it because nobody has stolen their country. It's not like they're not the ones running 10 Downing Street. I just don't understand why they would use that phrase. It's I want my country back. Who took your country? Nobody has stolen Britain. If anything, Britain is always stealing. Britain is known for stealing things. You go to the British Museum, all the artifacts they're not from Britain.
From the rest of the world, yeah.
They should call it the rest of the world museum. So this is what I don't seem to understand. They always talk about, we want what country? What country do you want back? Who took your country? Nobody took your country. No, Nigel Garage is the MP for Clacton. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But
he's picking up from where people feel the most, and that is why he's risen to the prime position that he thinks that he runs the show. But it's a travesty that people like Kemi are denying their own roots. So what do you expect?
Don't start me off about Kemi. And they don't start me off because they will probably cancel me on this platform if I start about Kemi. And what is really interesting, honestly, because what is really interesting is I heard that she was complaining that she's been abused. And people are saying that because she's a black woman, that's why she's now the opposition leader.
I'm sorry, she brought it up on herself. If that were
exactly.
the case,
and the most abused. I'm not saying that she's not, and racism is wrong, and I'm not saying that it's acceptable for her. It's unacceptable for racism to take place. I do not accept racism for any individual, talk less of a politician. But the most abused woman, black woman in the United Kingdom is not Kemi. It is Diana Abbott. Okay, she is the one who has been most abused, and I remember when she was abused. And if I remember correctly, I was reading in the papers, And it's almost like Kemi was denying that racism. Now she knows that there is. Look, please don't start me off. Don't start me off with Kemi. Don't start me off.
Yes, President.
Don't start me off. Don't start me off with Kemi.
That'll be another subject for another day.
That is another subject for another day. I wish her all the best. I wish her, she wants to be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I wish her all the best. But I genuinely believe that she has lost her voice. She has lost credibility, because if she was doing her job effectively, Niger Garage would not be heard of. Niger Garage would not be setting the narrative. But look, thank you so much. I need to talk to other people. But look, you have a wonderful evening, whatever you are doing, and play safe.
Anytime.
Thank you. Shaman,
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from England.
Oh, I'm so pleased that because I want as many British people as possible, because I want to
Okay.
learn. I want to
Okay.
understand
So
what's
so
happening in
so
Britain.
so let's just correct some things. Okay. Nigel Farage was the one who instigated the coming out of Europe. Okay. For Britain to come out of Europe. So he has a large following. So Kemi would never outpace him when it comes to publicity. He says what the English people want to hear, which is basically every other race is second class. That is when you hear them talk about they want their country back. I commented earlier on. Let me tell you about the system. The system says this: we, the black people, and the English people are having 2 and 3 children. The Muslims are having 5 and 6 children. You have lost your country. In the next 50 years, England will not look like the country the people want it to look like. And what it is they have this mentality, this thinking that England will be white. So when you hear the people say they want their country back, that is what they want. They want it to be a white society.
Okay,
But
let me
it's
stop.
impossible.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there.
Yes.
Why is there a distinct difference? If I've heard you correctly, so Muslims and black people are having more children than white
Yeah.
people. Why is that? Why is that happening?
Because of our culture.
So our culture is to have more children.
Sure. Our culture is family. Our culture is community.
But they also have children too.
No, not like we do. They don't have English people, if you have an uncle in England, that uncle will have to be really close to your mother. We will have uncles and family who are distant. They will be third and fourth cousins, but they are still family. In England, people don't look at family like that.
So you reckon part of the problem is the population gap? The fact
Sure.
that you are basically saying to me that black people and Muslims are going to outnumber English people in the United Kingdom.
Sure, that's why they say they want their country back. When they go to see the doctor now, or they go to the hospital, it is not a white doctor. It is an African or it's an Asian. Then you go to the old people's home. Who is looking after you? It would be an Asian woman or a black woman. Even if the head of the system is a white man, I guarantee you the doctor, the nurse, the one who's going to wipe your backside is going to be an Asian or a black.
Okay, so let's give this scenario. Let's just assume that black people and Muslims and everyone else leaves the UK. How would they cope? How would they run
No. English people don't work. English people don't work. So they can't cope without us. They have this idea that they would like to think that they could cope without us, but they can't. So it's just an idea.
So what's the solution, my friend? What is the solution?
Listen, I'm telling you straight. There isn't a solution. There is no solution to this problem. This problem, you see, you know when you open your front door and you let people in, but you didn't realize that they were actually going to sit down at the table to eat, and actually they're going to eat some of your food? That is what has happened to England. So we are in the Commonwealth, and they didn't realize that they'd opened the door. And when we came here, that we would actually get educated, that we would actually get the better jobs, that we wouldn't just be the bus drivers. We will be those who are actually sitting at the table. No, you can be in my house, but you cannot sit at the table, and you certainly can't eat my food. And when we hear about, the population and how things are, there are certain parts of England where you can go where white people won't go and buy a house anymore because they know it's an Asian community. But they didn't expect us to live there. They didn't expect the black man to be sitting at the table. Now, I hear people talking in the chat, and I'm reading some of the chat. Let me tell you this now. I'm in my 60s. So I have been and seen a lot. Seen when it was just the one black child in the school. And now we are seeing not just the one black child in the school, we are seeing many black children. And actually, the statistics right now are showing you that the English boys, white English boys, have fallen behind in education. They are the last right now. So when you look at statistics, if your English children are not getting educated, but your Asians and your black children are, especially the African children, then you're losing your country because they are the ones who are going to run your country.
But why do you say lose your country? Because if you're born in Britain, because I saw this.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, hold on. Let's not talk about born in Britain. You can be born in Britain. The color of your skin says you are not British.
Really?
So when I hear a black person say that they're British, okay, well let's just look at it. There was a war in there's a war going on right now that has some white people in it. England opened the door and let them in. Yes?
Ukraine.
Thank you. England opened the door and made a way for the Ukrainians to come in. There was a war in Afghanistan, some dark-colored people. Did they make a way, or did they run away and leave the very, very same people who did the interpretation, who did all that work for them to help them? They ran away and left them. We saw it live on TV. So, come. You can see. I will open the door for a white man, but a black man I won't open the door for. This is the system.
Okay, so let's move the subject on. So what? Because it can't continue like this. Because from where I am coming from, what I can see is that it's almost like they're trying to divide communities. It's almost like they're pushing for rounds. That is what I have seen.
Okay.
Over the last. So what is? There has to be a solution. Surely,
well,
all these communities can coexist.
No.
Surely.
Okay. Let me just tell you. Right now, any new estate which they are building, and we build loads of houses, there is one road in and one road out of every new estate which they build. It is a strategic plan to divide us. It is a strategic plan to divide us. We don't have communities like people have communities in Africa and in the Caribbean. You can live in a house in England for 20, 30 years and not know your neighbor. Good morning, good afternoon. That's as far as the conversation goes. Now, come on, tell me, in Africa, in the Caribbean, where I'm from the Caribbean, I would know the whole village, let alone just my neighbor. Here, you do not know anybody. And this is how they divided us. And if you watch the news, Mr. Farage, who's great at dividing us. And he is, and this is why the last speaker said about bad news spreads better than good news. So this is why you're hearing about Mr. Farage, because Mr. Farage says, I will send them back by the boatload every day. So it's good news for the British people. So those people who think they are not getting, they are saying, okay, well, we want you. I would not be surprised if he is not the next prime minister. He has a very good publicity machine.
But who is sponsoring him? That is what I don't understand.
Now, come on.
Who is sponsoring? Because he's not the opposition.
Let's talk let's talk about what table he sits at. Can you remember, just rewind your memory to when Donald Trump was running for election? Where was Nigel Farage? Where was he? Where was he? Who was talking about him? Donald Trump was talking about him, and he was sitting down with Donald Trump. He is Donald Trump's friend. Donald Trump said to this prime minister that he should be the envoy for England.
Yeah.
You remember these comments?
Yes.
Okay. So who's sponsoring him? Well, it could be any one of Trump's friends. It could be Trump. Come on, man. We know that the wars happen all around the world and nobody's talking about them, but somebody is putting their hands in their pocket and sponsoring them. In Africa, we don't make any guns, right? But we have more guns there than anywhere else. Please tell me. Who is sponsoring it? Margaret Thatcher used to sponsor. Come on. If anybody ever reads the news, they will see that Margaret Thatcher's son, remember, he got caught up in that coup. Okay? Well, whose money was that? Was that Britain's money? Was that government money? Because at that time, don't forget, his mum had just left government. Well, in fact, his mum was in number 10 with the man who organized that coup. So was it British money? But nobody would ever know because nobody ever talks. So when you talk about who is sponsoring these things, we don't know who's sponsoring. But somebody is definitely sponsoring.
So you reckon he could be the next prime minister?
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly. It will happen either one or two ways. Kemi's there. She's a sitting duck. She would not be the next prime minister. Kemi doesn't have it to be she doesn't have it to be, you know, I'm sorry for the comments which he has said. As a black man, I would not support Kemi. You know, she basically has disowned Africa from the comments that I've read about her, and how when she talks about how dangerous Africa is and all of these foolishness, you know. So yeah, but she's a sitting duck right now. There is one or two things are going to happen. Either Britain will go and vote in the same way as we did when we voted to come out of Europe. Don't forget, he was the one with Boris Johnson. Don't forget, he was backing Boris, and then him and Boris fell out. Remember, last minute, okay? Because he wanted to be prime minister, and if he had carried on with Boris, it meant Boris was going to be prime minister, which is what happened. So they fell out at the last minute. He withdrew his backing, but it was too late because Boris was too far ahead. So what is happening now? Either one or two things will happen. Either his party will overtake the Conservatives, and if he continues, that is what will happen. Or last minute, he will be the savior of the Conservative Party, and he will switch. Don't forget, he was a Conservative. People have a short memory, but he was a Conservative. Okay, but there were people who were blocking him from going up the ladder, who didn't like him. Now, when his party, although they just have 4 candidates, when the country, because it will be the country that he's mobilizing in the same way as he mobilizing, we want Britain back. If he's able to do that, because their publicity machine is so hot that this is why you hear about him so much. He has just opened a studio in London, in London, to do all his publicity things. And when it takes 10 Downing Street a couple of days to respond to something, he is responding same day. He's got his publicity. He is so sharp, that man. And
it is just unbelievable. The other day, someone was telling me that he was selling T-shirts with number 10 on it.
Yeah.
Number 10, Farage.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? If you are saying the things that people want you to hear, why not?
So what has happened to Starmer? Starmer has an overall majority.
Okay. Let's Starmer's he was finished even before he started in politics. He was finished even before he started. because of the role that he had before he started, before he came into number 10. He didn't have a chance because he was a human rights lawyer. So if you are, and the prosecutor, right? So if you're in that realm, when it comes around these issues, which side of the fence are you going to fall on? Where are you going to go? Because all your instincts in you are saying, I've got to give these people a chance. And then the law says, actually, you've broken into my country. Now, this is where the publicity is getting is really heating up, because this is what they are saying in England. You have broken into my country. That means you have broken my laws. And that means this is why the English people say you should lock them up. Okay? Because, and I'll be honest with you, I understand. Because if I broke into your home, then what would I expect? I would expect you to lock me up until you know who I am. Now that's justice. That's just. If I broke into your house and you didn't know who I was, and I was a nephew of yours, you're going to lock me up until you find out who I am. Now, let's say this. Let's put a scenario. I come to Africa. I am your distant family from second generation. I say, I do all the paperwork and I say, that's my uncle's house. And the guard man comes to me and I push the guard man and I get into your house. When I come into your house, here's what you're going to do. You're going to arrest me first. You are not going to introduce me to your family. You're going to arrest me first. You're going to make me sit down. And then you are going to call your men and do investigation before you let me loose. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to do your investigation until you know that who I am. You're going to call your brother. You're going to call your next auntie. You're going to call this person. You're going to call that person. And then you know who I am. And then you're going to say, okay, son, come. And you're still going to be watching over me. Now, let's talk about the communities. If you have, remember this, most of the migrants where you have are men. So here's what people say. Why would a man flee and leave his wife and children? If he's really a migrant, he would flee with his family. Why would so if you have a house, and I'm going to remind people who are listening, if they can remember the Bosnian War, if they are old enough to remember the Bosnian War, when we had men here from Bosnia, let me tell you what happened. You would go out, and your wives or your girlfriend would be touched up by Bosnian men because they didn't respect women. So they didn't respect women. And if you have a hotel full of 50 men, what do you think is going to happen? They're looking girls. Then if you lived in that area, you're going to be worried about your daughter. You're going to be worried about your wife. This is the problem. And so Nigel Farage, although it may not be happening, but Nigel Farage is stoking this fire. And because he's stoking the fire, people are jumping on the bandwagon. And so this is where it becomes an issue. Because remember, this hasn't just started. We've been using hotels for the last 3-4 years. So it's nothing new.
Shaman, look, I just want to thank you immensely for your contributions.
Okay.
You obviously,
No problem.
you're fully aware of what the issues are.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that the Britain is in dangerous territory right now, dangerous territory. And I don't know what the solution is. I genuinely don't know. And I'm surprised that King Charles and Prince William, they must be concerned about the direction of travel for Britain. It is dangerous, absolutely dangerous.
Can I ask a question? Isn't this the direction of travel of the world, not just Britain? Because look at America right now.
Yes.
Look at Europe right now. So it's not just Britain that people are talking about this thing, and my wife just said nationalism, because remember, even in Africa, we don't want them. We don't want the Englishman in Africa anymore. We don't want the Chinese man interfering in our business in
You
Africa.
don't want the French.
We
You don't
don't,
want the French.
no, we don't want the French. We certainly don't want the French. We don't want them. So I personally, my personal thing is, I would like us all to just leave them and go home. But even if we left them and went home, they wouldn't leave us alone. That is the problem. It would be good if we were able to go home and they would leave us alone. But we have what they want. All the gold and all the silver and everything else is what they want.
Okay, look, my good friend,
Well, bless
I've
you.
taken a lot of your time, but
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
do
thank you.
value your contributions, and hopefully people get to learn. I fear for Britain. It just what I see on TV is, and I saw some roundabouts being vandalized. I saw some streets being vandalized with crosses, and I just thought, what is this? What is this all about? Well, I know Britain has a cost of living crisis problem, but why would they vandalize streets? Why can't they buy the flags? I don't get it. They can buy a flag from Lidl. But look, my friend,
Yeah.
I wish you well. I wish
And
you
you.
well, and my love and greetings to your wife. Just be careful. Just play safe. Just play safe wherever you are.
Yes, sir. All right. Have a blessed evening.
Thank
I
you.
will continue to listen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a very wonderful contribution. You see, we can have a civil conversation here, and I just want to get to understand what is actually happening in Britain. Let's see what Kwama needs to say. I'm not going to be here that long. I've been here for a while now, so who knows? Maybe another 10 minutes, and I will be wrapping this up. Kwama, how are you?
Hi, Mr. President. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Where are you calling me from?
Long time. I haven't seen your live stream. So when I saw it today, I was like, oh, thank God, at least Mr. President is here just to brief up us what's happening over in the UK. I'm from London, Mr. President, from London.
Oh, fantastic. I want to hear from lots of London people
Yeah.
from London.
First
What is going on in Britain? Why are we hearing so much? What is going on? Why can't people get on? Why are migrants being blamed? Why are immigrants being blamed? What is actually going on? Because the government has only been there for more than a year. What is going on?
I think the voice of nationalism have been spreading quite fast over in the UK for the last few months, and I don't know whether we can blame this whole everything on Nigel Farage and the Reform Party, but I personally reckon, Mr. President, I want to say something before I come to this point. As your previous contributor to your life said, why all the men are coming over to the UK as a refugee? Because, for example, I'm from Afghanistan. And that side of the continent, the Asian continent, most of them, it was colonized by the Britain, and now a lot of these countries under the wing of America. And then the other side of the continent, it was actually colonized by the Soviet Union. So the thing is, when in these countries, when you go through a war like a country like Afghanistan, you're not going to have a strong force of a woman in your armed forces. So a lot of these men that are coming from Afghanistan, from my country, it's because they were part of the army, they were part of building the country, they were fighting with the Taliban, who is currently controlling the country. So really, you can't really blame that, only men are coming over to the UK, because women haven't contributed on that side. And then the Taliban can't go to every house and remove their children or torture or put them in a prison, because that would be millions and millions of people. Because let's say in average in Afghanistan, we have, a parent, they all, an average, they have 5 children. So you can't have millions and millions of people inside in a prison. So in that way, a lot of these young men, they leave Afghanistan and they come over to the UK and the rest of Europe or America. So that was the first point. That's why we have a lot of a male figure over in the UK rather than a woman. Coming back to the point, Mr. President, regarding as to what's happening, I'm seeing in London, the area where I live, the Union Jack flag. To be honest, as I live in this country, so that is our flag as well. We have no issue with that flag. And I don't know why these people think that we are against it. So I think, in my personal opinion, obviously you know that Nigel Farage was part of, when we were part of the European Union, he was sitting down in the European Parliament, and he was controlling everything down there. When we were leaving the European Union, he was part of that Brexit campaign as well, where he brainwashed a lot of people and they voted against. They voted in favor of leaving the European Union. So I want to come back to my point. I think he's not smart himself, but his chairman, Zia Yusuf, I think he is the most dangerous one, because I don't know whether you watched or whether you heard his recent conference, where he mentioned a lot of stuff regarding how, or if they get into power, how they want to shift their policy towards these refugees. And I think most common two countries that was coming up, and they were questioned about it, was Afghanistan and Syria. And he mentioned recently, yesterday, in another GB News interview, where he says, Nigel Farage says, "Oh, if we get into power, then we have a strong view as to whatever the Germans are currently doing, like deporting the Afghans through the Qatar authority to Afghanistan, and they think that this is a brilliant way to do so. So if you don't recognize a regime that's currently inside Afghanistan, and whoever controlling that sort of part of the world, then how can you have a trust on the Qatar, the government or the authorities, by you deporting these people over there, handing it over? How do you know what happens to these people when they land in that country? So that shows that these people, Zia Yusuf and Nigel Farage, haven't thought about this idea. It's just coming out from the stomach, and they think that people can be brainwashed by saying these sort of words.
Okay.
And the other thing is, go on, Mr. President.
You go on. Go on.
So the other thing is, regarding this flag, like this nationalism that they're trying to spread, this is all good that you want to spread it, but not towards hate, because you're creating literally a hate. Literally, they're going after, creating video after video. They've been paying people just to spread this misinformation, saying that, okay, only 4 million Muslims, I don't know whether you've seen it or not, but there's a lot of evidence that I've been collecting through social media, where they're saying only 4 million Muslims are literally controlling the whole country, which is not the best perspective that they're trying to put forward. Okay, those 4 million Muslims they're not controlling your country. They're part of your country now. They're part of this country. They're like citizens of this country. If they're standing in a local election, or they're standing for the parliament election in the general election, or they're standing as a mayor or as a councillor, then you haven't done enough to go forward and take that seats from them. So what is it that we live in a democratic country, and you're coming over here in the UK and try to take this right away from somebody? Okay, then in that case, you have to remove this democracy from people. If you are giving us a freedom and democracy and voice, then how come now you're sitting here today blaming the 4 millions of Muslims? You can't really blame them. It's not only the 4 millions. We have the Jews live here. We have the Indians, we have the Buddhists, we have the Muslims, we have all sort of religion over in the UK, and also they are here in a power. Our last PM, Rishi Sunak, he was an Indian. He wasn't like practicing, like he was Hindu. So that means that he wasn't like going to a church to participate in your sort of a ceremony. So how come you come in and blaming them? So this democracy that we have, I think currently under Nigel Farage and his team, is literally they underestimating this democracy, and they think that they can dictate us, and they're going to come and take over 10 Downing Street and literally take our voice away from us. I think this is a very dangerous move, Mr. President. Yes. And our people have to raise their voice, whether it's the African continent or whether it's an Asian continent. We are the people. We are the people that's been most targeted. If, for example, Mr. President, if we take Gambia into an account, if we take Nigeria, currently what's going on in that part of the world, or that part of, like, in those countries, they're literally taking everything away from you. But this British people, or those so-called that, oh, this is their country and this country doesn't belong to us, why you don't contribute as to what's happening in those countries? What happened in Afghanistan?Hy our regime was collapsed? Why are these people not talking? If our regime was there, then these millions of Afghan or thousands of Afghan wouldn't be flooding out of Afghanistan. They wouldn't be coming over to the UK.
Okay. Look. Thank you, Kwame. You've spoken eloquently, and you obviously know, you know exactly what's going on in Britain. I have a couple of questions and comments to make. I mean, let me start by someone who's basically saying that Britain hasn't got a democracy and that it's under dictatorship. I hear this a lot from a lot of people who talk about dictatorship in Britain. Britain is not under any dictatorship. You have no idea what dictatorship actually means. If you were under dictatorship in Britain, you wouldn't even have social media. You would not have social media in any shape or form. The social media would be banned. And that is part of the problem because you have people who are just saying all sorts of things on social media. So the first thing I would say right now is that there is no dictatorship in Britain. You are not under dictatorship. You might be unhappy with the government, but you are not under dictatorship. You can still express yourself. You can still, there's freedom of speech, even though they will debate that there isn't freedom of speech. You can protest. You've got a choice. You can move freely. I do not understand when British people say that they are under dictatorship. You have no idea what dictatorship means. Honestly, I feel very strongly about it. It really irritates me when British people say that they are under dictatorship. If you're under dictatorship, you will not even have access to TikTok. You will not have access to social media. You wouldn't have access to X. You wouldn't have access to Threads. You would not have access to any of those. So that's the first thing to correct. The second point really is this. As far as I'm concerned, Kwame, I do not admire Nigel Farage. But however, I would say to you that he has been very, very clever in dividing United Kingdom. He has this ability to engage disaffected people. But is that what not a politician should be like? So it is down to the establishment politicians. And when I say establishment politician, because I believe Nigel Farage is an establishment politician, but he's not one of them. But I would say the likes of Starmer have failed Britain. Angela Rayner have failed Britain. Labour have failed Britain. The Tories have failed Britain because he has seen a gap. He saw a gap. And because people are so disaffected with democracy, that is why you have this situation that you're in at the moment. He has found a gap, just like Donald Trump has found a gap in America. And when you talk to people who are disaffected, who are unhappy with the state of the government, they will listen to someone else.
Well, Mr. President, Labour is only in power for about a year. You can't really expect that the mess that the Labour Party have taken over from Conservative for the past 14 years, just for them to brush it in 1 year.
You're absolutely right. And I did say that the Tories have been in power for 14 years before Labour got in. But Starmer is coming across as very, very weak. Starmer is coming across. He should be decisive.
In what area, Mr. President?
So he's not. For example, he should be shutting down. What's his name? Nigel Farage. He's not.
Nigel Farage, he can't because there's a freedom of speech, and he's also like running a party, so he's also a leader of the reform.
But I genuinely fear that if he continues and he doesn't
the tactic that Nigel Farage is using, for example, this flag that's currently going up, this is a good thing in a way, but the way that they're spreading in it is literally targeting one part of the UK population. You see what I mean? This is the dangerous part, and I think that has to be rectified. But
if Starmer is not saying anything, Starmer should be saying something. And should be saying, but for example, you said that the UK flag. So the UK flag is the one that is not English. I understand that. But the English flag is the one that has been hijacked by racists, is the one that has been hijacked by fascists. And I know there are people who are from the immigration community who are very, very concerned because that flag has been hijacked. Nobody says that you shouldn't erect the flag of your country. Nobody's saying that. But when a flag has been hijacked by the fascists, okay, if you are living in an environment where you are the only black person in that environment, or you might be a few black people in that environment, do you feel safe seeing that flag up there? People are intimidated because you don't know who's racist and who is actually genuinely patriotic because that flag has been hijacked by the fascists. It's that simple. And if I was in power, I will be challenging Nigel Farage. I will be challenging Tommy Robinson. I will be challenging Robert Lowe and all these other people who have only one singular issue.
But Mr. President, so for example, as a party in whole, yes, they have to challenge as to what the Reform Party is doing.
But we're not doing that, my friend.
But Keir Starmer, as obviously he's the leader of the Labour Party. At the same time, he's the PM of the UK. Of this country. So that means that he has a lot of more responsibility on his shoulder than Nigel Farage does. All Nigel Farage does is to come up with some sort of these sort of like delusional ideas that he knows
But you say
people
that
are uneducated,
Kwama,
that these
Kwama,
people are
Kwama,
gonna.
hold on. Sorry to interrupt you. But you say that they are deluded, but he's controlling the narrative. Someone who has only 4 MPs is controlling the narrative. He's coming across like the opposition leader, the official opposition leader, and we know he isn't. He is getting the narrative. He is in the press. He's always constantly on BBC News.
Because he
He's
has
constantly
no
on
other,
BBC News.
Mr. President, he has no other like a formal responsibility, like whereas Keir Starmer does. He's running a country, so he can't come in and sit down and talk like in TikTok or Facebook the way that Nigel Farage is doing in it. You see what I mean?
But he has to find the time because that is
Yeah,
where the people are.
that is correct. He has to find a team where they can fight. But obviously, I think right now Labour is facing the only one thing that they're trying to concentrate on, and they're trying to get in like a proper system to be built up for is these sort of like a migrant coming over to the UK, you know, on these small boat. I don't know whether you are following media or not, but their main focus is just on that because they know that Nigel Farage have used this tactic to say that our country has been hijacked, our country is not like recognizable, we have refugee coming here every day, and in fact that there was more like there's a like this issue of refugee is very, very less to compare to what other problem we have in the UK. But obviously Nigel Farage, he is a sort of like emotional speaker. When he speaks and he comes up with an idea, he doesn't have a policy to back it up as to what he's talking about. Just on this same conference where he's spoken about these small boats or these refugees that he wants to tackle and send them back to their country, when he's been asked about like children and women, he had no idea. He didn't even knew as to what will happen to them. So that means that he's just an emotional speaker.
Yeah, I know. I am aware. And I know that he hasn't got a backup plan. Just similar to Brexit means Brexit. There was no plan. He
Okay,
just said
then what happened? Then why is the UK people so stupid to follow Nigel Farage when he put down that
because some of them are not educated and some are very, very unhappy with the state of the nation. I have never understood.
Yeah, but like, okay, if they're not happy, we only had an election just a year ago, right? Just a year ago, we had an election. The Tory was in power for 14 years. They literally turned the country upside down. Nobody was saying anything. There was no racism. There was nothing happening. As soon as Labour took over, they're only in government for a year, and I think they just have understood as to what's happening around the country, and they're trying to control it as to what, like, all the mess that they have left. What they're doing now, Nigel Farage is coming up just with his emotional, like he's just an emotional speaker trying to ruin us again, pushing the country to another side where he wants to get into power and he wants to get into number 10.
Yes, so the point I am trying to make, and I'm sorry I have to interrupt you, but I really feel very strongly about this. Starmer needs to fight back. Starmer needs to find his voice. Starmer needs to be saying to the United Kingdom that I represent the United Kingdom, not just England. I represent the United Kingdom, and what Farage is doing is dangerous to the United Kingdom. He needs to fight back, and I don't see him fighting back, and that is the issue. He's coming across as weak. And I would confidently tell you this right now. Hold on, let me finish. I will confidently tell you, I'm not in support of Nigel Farage, but I will confidently tell you that if you are not careful, Nigel Farage will be the next prime minister. I'm telling you.
Well, all the poll actually suggests that way, that if there was an election tomorrow, then it looks like that the Reform Party will gain 310 seats.
Yeah, and that's why Farage, that's why Starmer needs to, Labour Party either needs to get Starmer removed or he needs to change his style of leadership. He needs to fight back.
Mr. President, we are not talking about, okay, all right. That's one side of the argument. What about the Conservative, currently the opposition party? That lady sitting there in the opposition party right now, Kemi Badenoch, she's also like a rat into all of this as well. She's quiet, you know what I mean? She's waiting for her sort of a grip as to what she can hold of. And I think that is more dangerous as well. Like, no one is really focusing as to what she's up to. Do you see what I mean? In a way that she's not trying to represent, like taking herself away from Nigeria. Every other day she's in media, making herself, like people making fun of her. And this lady is the leader of the opposition party. The opposition party is literally destroying themselves and like this is my own personal opinion. I think if we are not careful, or if the opposition party is not careful, Labour and this current Conservative opposition party leader, they will literally be wiped off from the surface of this earth. And I think that this is the most dangerous move that the British people will go into.
But I genuinely believe, but who has themselves to blame because of this? It is the
Labour
people.
and Conservative both.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have thought if they really, and this is what I don't seem to understand, Kwama, if they really were serious about the United Kingdom and they see that Nigel Farage is a threat, why can't they work together to stop Nigel Farage?
Because right now, Labour is saying that, okay, we have the 14 years of mess from the Conservative, and the Conservative are literally not accepting any of their fault, and they think that whatever they, on the last 14 years, whatever work they did in this country or in 10 Downing Street, well,
I know, but you keep making excuses, and this is the point I am trying to make. If you know someone is a threat, and you know that person is going to destroy Britain and will destroy Britain like America has
what
been
is our
destroyed.
duty, Mr. President, then, in all of this? What is our duty as a British citizen?
But conversations like this need to happen because you will not get this in mainstream media.
Other than that, and I think that the British people needs to wake up, and they
Yeah,
need
but
to.
they will not wake up. They will not wake up because
If Tommy Robinson can bring like thousands of people to the streets of London trying to prove his point, and I think the genuine British people who are, like fighting for their rights, they should hit the streets as well and get their.
But they can't because there is no effective leader fighting back to Tommy Robinson, fighting back to Nigel Farage. Even Elon Musk is posting on his X platform the flag of the of England, not United Kingdom, the flag of England, and he's supporting what is happening in the United Kingdom. It's almost like Elon Musk.
His revenge.
Yeah, it's almost like Elon Musk wants to
revenge.
break. Yeah, it's almost like Elon Musk wants to break the United Kingdom. All the other political parties should be working together to stop Nigel Farage because he's so powerful in terms of the media. He's so powerful in terms of. I mean, why does he have so much access to the BBC? Why does he have so much access to GB News? And it's almost like these political these media stations are in support of Nigel Farage. Indirectly, are in support. They love what he does. Do you understand what I'm saying? And someone says, and someone says he's not powerful. But we spent the last how many minutes talking about Nigel Farage? Do you understand what I'm saying? People, you absolutely. What I would agree with you on this is that you are absolutely right. Britain, the British people need to wake up, but you need an effective leader to wake them up. And at the moment,
like Zara Sultan and Jeremy Corbyn is also working on this new party as well.
But it is a nonsense because you have just defined it.
I think it's a nonsense, but this will be the extra pressure on the Labour Party. If they don't fix themselves right now, then literally that party will be destroyed.
Because you will have and Jeremy Corbyn, as far as I'm concerned, I like the guy, to be honest with you, but he had his time and it didn't happen. And the only reason why he has created that party, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care who is upset by this, is that he is still very, very much unhappy with the fact that he was toppled during that leadership contest. Do you understand what I'm saying? He did like the fact that because Starmer was working with him, as I understand it, and then Starmer just threw him underneath the bus because he wanted to be prime minister. That is the real reason why that your party has been created. It's not about the people. A lot of these politicians are pretty much.
I think he will take a slice of the pie if there was a.
He will not, but he will not get into power. Nobody will
get into power, but he will destroy Labour.
But that is what he wants to do because he's no longer a Labour Party leader, and he's talking about wanting to represent the people. Nobody will vote for will vote for Corbyn. I'm telling you right now.
They wouldn't vote for him, but I think they do want to change. So this will be just the extra pressure. Like if you look at it right now, since from the day they have literally announced this party, I don't know whether you're following, but they literally have 1 million plus membership.
Okay, yeah, but look, listen to me. Look, and this is why the British people need to be clever. Yeah, they have 1 million people. But what impact have they had since they created that party? Tell me.
They have a big pressure on the Labour Party, because if the Labour Party don't fix themselves or they don't come up with a new plan or new policy for the British people, I think the party will be breaking up because people.
I just need to respond to somebody here. Someone is saying, "Oh, Ibrahim Traore, thank you very much." I am not Ibrahim Traore. I know I look like him, but I am not Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore will not be involved in British politics. He has his own problems, but I am not
No, we are
Ibrahim
involved
Traore.
because we are literally, upset for this country. We live
I
here.
don't know. I don't know. A lot of people come on here and say, "Oh, hello, Ibrahim Traore." Ibrahim Traore. I am not Ibrahim Traore. I know I look like him, but I am the older version of him. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not,
Which part of the UK are you from?
I'm not from the UK. I'm
Oh,
calling
really?
you from Africa.
Oh, you're calling us from Africa.
Yeah. I am very concerned about my people. I've asked my people to leave the United Kingdom immediately because I am very, very concerned. I do not like the direction of travel.
There was another war coming up from Israel towards Iran as well. Have you heard of that, Mr.
Yeah, I've heard. There's just so much, and then there's Russia and Ukraine. Don't even start me off about America, where the Orange Man said that he was going to stop the war between Ukraine and Russia, and that hasn't happened. Don't start me off about the fact that Israel has now invaded Gaza. So there's a lot going on that we can't cover every single thing. Today I just wanted to focus on Britain.
We need to see you. We need to see you more often here, Mr. President. Your
I
voice.
will. It's just I have a country to run, my friend, and at times some people it has gone very well today. There are times when I'm having a conversation with people on here.
I really wanted to message you the other day because I was thinking, where's Mr. President gone for the last few weeks? We haven't seen him. I hope.
Yeah, because at times when I come on here, someone reports me, and before I know what's happening, they ban me from doing live TikTok because they don't like what I have to say. But
They
it's
can't
really
really
interesting.
digest the talk that you are saying here. This is like a mind building. This is the people that we are working for.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. And I'm hoping that people, that as much as we've had this conversation today, I'm just hoping that people are educating themselves because the conversation that you and I have had, we would not be able to have it on BBC.
yes, no, because
No,
they're
they will not
biased.
allow us because
They're biased.
they will not. Yeah.
They're not gonna allow me and you to sit in there because BBC is completely biased. They're not
Yeah.
gonna have talks like this.
Look, my friend. But thank you so much. But
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for giving me time, and I hope your live stream goes well, and we catch up in another stream. Thank you.
I know we will, and we'll have another subject to talk about. But I just want every single British person to understand this: that look, it is a beautiful country. Yeah, every country has challenges. Don't let them divide you. Don't let them divide communities. Britain is stronger as a result of diversity. This is just a distraction. It is a real distraction right now in the United Kingdom. And I am really, really worried because I really do love the country. Apart from the fact that my children are there, I really do love the country. And I want the country to succeed. But you don't succeed by blaming immigrants, by blaming migrants. Every single thing, immigrants, you blame immigrants for every single thing. And that is wrong. This is just a distraction. What you have
As
is
we have you, Mr. President, raising the voice. Hopefully, the people of the British people will wake up.
well, hopefully they will let me continue to communicate. Hopefully they will not ban me from this platform because they have done it before. They have
We are here
suspended me, they have banned me.
President, we are here to support you. The other day I was thinking about you. I was thinking just to send you a quick message to say how you're doing. And then I got busy as well. But when I saw you today, I was very happy that, okay, Mr. President is still with us, still alive.
I'm still alive. But look, come on. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to end this now.
Okay. Enjoy your time.
Thank you. So I think I just have two more people and I'm going to end this. But I just want to say again, I am not Ibrahim Traore. I am not the Burkina Faso president. I genuinely am here because I want to reach out to people. I want to make sure people understand the narrative. Britain is going through some real dangerous times at the moment. And we must make sure that you do not let them divide you, especially if you are in Britain. Don't let these far-right people divide the community. Britain is a beautiful place. Do not let them divide you. There is no country that doesn't have challenges. But don't blame immigrants for every single thing that is happening in the UK. It's not immigrants that are creating the problems. What Britain lacks is a lack of decisive and strong leadership. And that is what is required. Political parties should be working together to fix the problems of the United Kingdom people. They should stop Nigel Farage, but they're not. They are like frightened rabbits. Someone who has only 4 MPs is creating the narrative, changing the narrative, and that is dangerous for the United Kingdom. I would speak to a few more people and I will leave.
Hello, sir. You okay?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me up. Thank you for giving me your time. I'm
Yeah,
just showing love for Burkina Faso, by the way. I'm gonna say even
thank
Traore.
you, but I'm not from Burkina Faso. I don't know why people think I'm from
I know.
Burkina Faso. It's funny, but I'm not. How can I help you? Are you British?
I'm English. I live in England. I'll try and break it down as quick as I can. So when people say British, they're not British. British is a corporation. The Crown is a corporation. That's the royal family. The corporation. They're not sovereign. Yeah. England is England. So when you say Scotland, Scotland's real name's Caledonia, Ireland's real name's Erie, and Wales's real name is I think it's Cumbria or something, or Cumbria. The Wales, Scotland, and Ireland and Britain, they're all corporations. That's
Okay.
literally what it is. That they use as private corporations. So there's two different laws in the United Kingdom. United Kingdom is 1 square mile in London. It's the area the king can't go without special permission from Lord Mayor Rothschild. So London has two mayors, not just one. Outside of that UK jurisdiction, that 1 square mile is the England common law the common law of England jurisdiction. Yeah. So that's why you'll sometimes see on YouTube like people holding police to account for trespass against them, and he won't be the police force that pays him, be the police officer himself. So what our leaders have actually been doing for a very, very long time is giving people quite a lot of misinformation, and they're currently scared at the minute because more information is coming out about crimes they're actually involved in, and some of these crimes, I'm sad to say, do include Africa. Some of the things I've done over there, they're trying to cover up.
Okay. So are you happy with what is happening in Britain right now where they're trying to divide communities?
Well, it's not really the people trying to divide. It's what they watch on TV. So the mainstream media is actually owned by Zionists, unfortunately. Keir Starmer is a Jewish Zionist, and this is what I was saying in the comments. You cannot trust Labour, you cannot trust Farage. They are both equally dangerous. It's not the people, the immigrants that have done this. It's the establishment we voted for.
So what is the solution? What is the solution?
The solution is stop listening to mainstream media, stop listening to left-wing ideology, educate yourself, do a bit of history, look at 1930s Germany before it all started. Exactly the same principles happening here. There was people wanting to become different sexes. They wanted to lower the age consent for children, and a lot of people didn't like that. And then, I think it was the Austrian painter, I can't say his name because I'll get your life taken down, but the man who led World War II from Germany, the Austrian painter himself, he was the only one in the world at that time that put handcuffs on a Rothschild banker, a world banker, and not long after that, the war started. Anywhere you've seen war, you can actually evidence this as well in history. If you do enough research, you'll actually find it's the same people, same crimes, and same pattern, and they still exist today. It's the same families. It's all the banking families. That's literally what they do. They create chaos to offer a solution and then solve the problem while it suits them, and then when they start willing to learn things, they do it all over again. It's always the little people that it affects. And people need to start understanding this. You need to really listen to people who do their research, listen to the truth speakers, because they won't tell you lies, they'll tell you actual facts. Okay, I'm going to say so. Nigel Farage and Zia Youssef, they run UK Party, right? The Reform Party is not democratic because Nigel Farage and Zia Youssef own majority shares. So at any time, they can just come in. Like, for example, Zia Youssef can come in and say, right, Nigel, you're not the MP anymore, I'm the Prime Minister. He can do that because it's not democratic. And Zia Youssef is a member of the WEF, World Economic Forum. They're the ones orchestrating this as well. Keir Starmer has been lobbied by the Zionist lobby in London. He's already admitted he's a Jewish Zionist. He's already put in schools something called RSC, which is basically grooming kids at a young age. That's the only way you can look at it. And they infected civil services with DEI officers, which is the diversity, equality, inclusion. When really it's just like putting people there, and they want the sheep and the people to follow orders rather than question and rather than have a think about things like, how is this going to affect me if I do something wrong? They just want people to follow orders and think they're going to be protected. That's why we have what's called stormtroopers at the minute. So there's just two parties right now in the UK that are not getting any traction on the mainstream media. It's the UKIP party, and it's also Advance UK. Now, the mainstream media and other outlets will say these are far-right parties. They're actually not. Ben Habib is he's British Pakistani. He's a millionaire, but he loves the country. He's embraced it. His mom was English. His dad was Pakistani, and he's even gone on to like podcasts on YouTube and said the people in these gangs, in these Muslim gangs, they don't represent the entire community. And if their parents actually knew what they were getting up to, they would not be happy about it one little bit. But I want to see them punished. But the problem is, I'm sad to say, there were mayors that were involved, there were councillors that were involved, there was politicians that were involved with grooming those children and selling them. They were all involved, and that's actually been proven by the Casey report. And this is one thing that gets me: the extreme left. Oh, it's what you're just being a racist, you're being a thug, you're being a fascist. Like, no, I'm telling you the truth. You can read the Casey report for yourself. It's all in there, and that the Casey report is actually done by a baroness who's I think she's on the King's Bench of the Royal Courts. So I don't think she's going to lie under oath, But there's
So what
quite
is
a lot of
the
misinformation.
so apart from the fact that British people should stop listening to the media, what else? What is the solution?
It's to unite in your communities, identify who you can trust, who you can't trust, who you can talk to, who you can't talk to, and make it very clear you don't want the criminality in it. You want to stop the grooming of children. You all want to work together and come together as a community and stop that behaviour and re-establish the family unit, because too many family units are broken up, and that's been orchestrated as well. People need to understand any time the government's made a decision that's affected your personal life, it's nothing to do with an immigrant or somebody else. It's to do with the government and their policy. And this is the thing: it's always policy. It's never an order. You are not subject to policy. This is why I try and teach people to stand in their private capacity as a living person, a man or a woman, as a sovereign citizen, because that's the best way to take over the government, is using lawfare, because their decisions are affecting everybody. And my take with the immigration thing, yeah, there are general refugees. A lot of them are working, a lot of them are fine. They just come to embrace the country. But unfortunately, they have been mixed in with people who were in Al Qaeda, people who were Hamas. That's been proven. David Lammy went to Syria 3 weeks ago and gave the new head of Syria £50 million for, get this, DEI, diversion, equality, inclusion. £50 million. I don't have it over there. If you look at Syria, who the leader is and who he was before he took power, you'll know exactly what he's like. And he's not about diversity, equality, and inclusion. And then you got people over here saying that there is Afghani soldiers. There's people who've been associated with criminals over there, and they keep saying they're waiting for orders before they do something. And there have been attacks, unfortunately. There have been attacks on the general public. And former soldiers have come forward, even active serving soldiers have come forward and said this is literally an act of war, and asking people to put their military attire on and attend the funerals of the victims and treat them as casualties of war. And that's another reason for the flags. The flags are literally going up because it's symbolic of this is our land. It's nothing to do with race or anything. It's basically a message to the government saying, we're English, we've had enough, we're not tolerating anymore, we want you out. And that's why you hear the songs, I can't sing them, it's like life taking off, but they're all about Mr. Starmer and Mr. Lammy. And that's basically the point. And I do want people to educate themselves and just listen to others and try and see things from a different perspective and different perception, and just to take this message with it. Anything the government says, do the opposite, because they are trying to lock everybody down. They have been engaged in some very serious criminal crimes, and it has been done for children. It's not just the Muslim community or the African community or the white community. It's actually mostly the community of Westminster. They're all involved. They can't get out of it. We found the evidence. We found the Department of Health and Social Care making purchases. What are they doing making purchases of these young people? It makes no sense. But then when you look at it a bit deeper, you see the crimes and you see like the same pattern emerging time and again. So an example I can give you is Haiti. If you look at Haiti, what happened there? The British Red Cross was given £500 million to go and help with Haiti. £500 million with Haiti. The economy is absolutely broken. £500 million would get you quite a lot. They built 6 homes. That was it. £500 million and built 6 homes. It begs belief. But then, like, you see all the crimes perpetrated against children over there, and children being sold, and it's just like, why is my government, why is my country even involved in this? And when you try to access the public files from Parliament, they're suddenly not available. This is why they're trying to lock everybody down with digital IDs, because more and more evidence is coming out that they have been engaged in those sort of nefarious actions. I keep telling people we've been at war since 2020, even before 2020, the COVID rollout. That was an attack on the entire nation. 30 million people no longer here. That's a genocide in my eyes. That's not an accident. That's a deliberate, orchestrated attack.
Look, Mike, I wasn't planning to be here this long, but it's been very, very interesting to talk to you, and I thank you so much for your contributions. I just hope that people will listen to what you have to say about educating their minds and making sure that they're reading the right information. But I just want to thank you so much. I think I have just two more people, and I will end this live because I need to get on
Okay,
with
sir.
it. But thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Take care.
Okay, I just want to say to you that I have to leave now. I want to thank you all for watching, listening. This wasn't about likes. This wasn't about views. This was about educating ourselves and truly understanding what is going on in Britain. Like I said to so many other people around here who have been listening, Britain is a beautiful country, a country full of diversity. And in my view, we must find a way. You must find a way to resolve your issues and differences. Do not let them divide you. Educate yourself. Don't just listen to what is in the media, because the media is biased. Listen to other people, the truth speakers in your society. Do not let them divide you. It is very, very important. I will be back here again next Saturday. I will definitely be back here 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock next Saturday, and we can talk about anything that you want to talk about. I strongly believe that Britain has a great future ahead of itself. However, it needs the right leaders. It needs the right people. And it needs the right people to deliver what is required for the British people. Nigel Farage is not the right person. He isn't. He's dividing. Tommy Robinson is not the right person. They are dividing and want to divide. Nobody has taken the United Kingdom from anybody. Nobody, when they say we are taking our country back, that is absolutely dog bollocks. Nobody has taken any United Kingdom away. What you lack is leadership, and strong and decisive leadership is what Britain needs. Strong, stable, decisive leadership. And I'm afraid that it is really, really important that Britain gets a grip, that the Labour government gets a grip. Fight back, fight back, fight back, fight Nigel Farage. Fight him. And I don't mean physically, but fight him. It is really, really important. Weak leadership is not going to get you anywhere in Britain. We must find a way to fight back the far right and take the fight, make it dirty as much as you can. Don't be frightened, because Nigel Farage only has four MPs. Fight back. Like Donald Trump would say, fight, fight, fight. That is what British leadership needs to do. Fight back. And for those who are calling me Ibrahim Traore, I am not Ibrahim Traore. My name is President Obonjo of Laughter Republic, and I am out. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure that some of you have recorded what is happening here. I'm sure some of you have learned from what we have spoken about. Please educate yourself. Do not let them divide you. We are stronger when we are united. And the beauty of the United Kingdom is there's so many communities. Make sure they do not divide you in any shape or form. Thank you so much. I am out.